TikTok is making people go back to their 9 to 5. I got a cousin. He sold a lot of stuff on TikTok, and he told me this last night. He said, dude, I don't know what I'm going to do. I used to sell on a TikTok shop, and I used to edit my videos on CapCut. They tried to get me to go to Lemonade, but he said I can't make no money on Lemonade. I don't know what to do. I have to go back to my 9 to 5. And then he said, do you have any suggestions? I said, well, if you have to go back to your 9 to 5, so be it, but make sure you pick a good 9 to 5. And I asked him, I said, do you have your money? Do you have any other side hustles? Do you have your money going elsewhere besides into your bank account from TikTok? And he said, no, but he said, I do have about 20,000 in equity in my bank to what I can do to spend. But he said, I don't know what else business I can do. I don't have no other traits or I don't have no kind of craft or nothing. And I said, well, your money sitting there is not going to do nothing. I said, well, let me just give you 3 options of what I would do. The last 2 will probably help you because it's helping me. And he said, man, I'm all ears right now. He said, give me any kind of nuggets, gems that you want. I said, well, you're a homeowner, right? He said, yeah. I said, if you ever decided to borrow from your home, I said, do not refinance. That's what I was learned by my uncle, and I'm going by experience. I'm not a financial advisor. Disclaimer for anybody watching this video. And I was telling him, I'm not a financial advisor, but if you take if you build up a home loan line of credit and borrow from it like a HELOC loan, I will get into real estate. And if you don't know, if you're afraid of taking that money, getting into real estate, I said, my next best option is to get you into some blue chip stocks. And he said, what is blue chip stocks? I said, blue chip stocks, and I'm going to explain what are they so you'll know as well as the viewer. I said, you can even do this at your 9 to 5. If you was to go back to your 9 to 5 and you have some kind of cash sitting there, because all that 20,000 is just going to do, you're just going to chip away from it, chip away. Your car going to break down, or you're going to need dental work or a vision where your glasses, you're going to have all kinds of stuff that's going to chip away that 20 grand. And the banks is only nothing but doing is making money off that 20 grand that's sitting there because they using your money to invest in other people. So I just want to let you know that money that's sitting in that bank is not doing nothing. You're just going to start chipping away. Next thing you know, you're broke, and the bank is going to say, hey, your account is negative. You're spending it. You're done, bro. You're done. So my recommendation on that is me leaving my 9 to 5 as an entrepreneur. I just didn't have one stream of income. I also during the time frame I left my 9 to 5, I put my money into other things like ETFs, which I'm gonna get into next. So blue chip stocks. What is blue chip stocks? Blue chip stocks is kind of like McDonald's. If you put your money in McDonald's, if you put your money in Walmart, if you put your money in, because when people think of fast food, they think of what? McDonald's or Taco Bell or Burger King. And if that's one thing you want to do is put your money in that, and then also put your money into stuff like the oil, like mobile oil. Put your stuff in that, because oil will never run out and while I'm still alive, and it never have when I was born. So stuff like that, McDonald's, Walmart, mobile oil, and there are some other things. When you think of something like thirsty, if you're thirsty, you want to think of what? Like everybody think of what? Coca-Cola. Put your money in Coca-Cola, Gatorade, stuff that's big time companies that's been holding forever before you was born, and it will still be here right after you is gone. So put your money in those. That's blue chip stocks. And how you start that? Open your brokerage account. And a brokerage account like me that I use is Republic.com. That's what I use. I'm sorry, not Republic. Public.com. And then also you want to open up some safe stocks that can give you longevity, like ETFs. What is ETFs? ETFs is stocks kind of like Vanguard. Almost every job, 9 to 5, uses Vanguard into their company for their 401k. Use Vanguard. Vanguard stocks is going to always grow. But do not sell. When you put your money in these stocks, do not sell. How do you get in Vanguard? Public.com. Open a brokerage account. But when you start putting money into these stocks, you want to keep doing it. You want to be consistent. If you put 250 into the ETFs like VOO, which is Vanguard, and QQQ, if you put your stuff in that and don't touch it and just keep building and keep building, I would say about 15 years, you'll be almost a millionaire. If the more you put in, the more you will be. If you do like $250 into the ETF stocks like QQQ and VOO, I would say in the next 25 years you'll be a millionaire. But if you put 500 or 700, the more you put in, you be consistent, you'll be a millionaire faster because it's growing and it's investing. Those are the stocks that I recommend. And I was telling him that, and he's like, that's a good idea. I said, do you have a brokerage account? No. Do you have any stocks anywhere? No. My money is just sitting. I was like, well, I would recommend you do is go back to your 9 to 5, but get a good 9 to 5. And when you go to the 9 to 5, get all full benefits. Just take advantage of that 9 to 5. As soon as you go to that job, get all the benefits. I said, get the 401ks, get the profit share, and get everything they shoot your way, so that this $20,000 to be making money while you at your 9 to 5. And then when you do find your craft as a side hustle, come up with another side hustle. For example, like get on YouTube and start sharing your experience on YouTube, be monetized. That's one side hustle. Then it will help you in the long run. And he said, wow, he said, I'm kind of scared about taking money out of my home, which I kind of figured because I was scared when I did it. I still didn't do it because I was scared. That's just one of the side hustles I was going to do, and I will do pretty soon once I get to a certain level for the goals that I have for me. And he said, yeah, I'm kind of scared to take out of my wife will kill me if it don't work out. I was like, I understand that, but you have 20,000. Use those 20,000. At least get into stocks. Talk to your wife or your spouse about these and say, hey, these are the stocks I want to get into. I want to get into the blue chip stocks, and then I want to get into the ETF stocks, kind of like your VOO and your QQQ. You want to get to stocks like that, and don't touch it. Don't touch your money. Just keep throwing money in it, dishing money in it. And I will say, to be honest, you got 20,000 and you're dishing your money, a part of that 20,000 into these stocks. Trust me, man, you will thank me in the next couple years down the line. You will say, bro, you was right. You was dead on. And I'm learning this from experience because that's what I do right now. And he said, he said he dread to go back to a 9 to 5. He said what's going to happen is he don't have nothing. He said if he go to a 9 to 5, it's going to be working for like UPS or a Uber driver or you know DoorDash or something like that. He said because he don't got no craft, he don't got no kind of certificate. He just graduated high school. That's it. He didn't go to college because he couldn't. He said he couldn't afford to go to college. He had to just work. And some people is like that. And this is for you guys. If you're on your 9 to 5, I would take full advantage of all your benefits, your 401k. And if you can borrow from your 401k, and this is what I would do also if I was a 9 to 5. First, I'll try to get to the corporate ladder. I try to reach as much money as I can to where it's still aesthetically pleasing to my family, to where it won't interrupt my home time, to where I could grow up a little bit. But if they tell me, hey, to be a manager, you got to go on the other side of the state, I'm not doing it. I'm not leaving for my family's first. I'm not leaving that. And I got a home, I got a mortgage. I'm not doing that. But I will take simple advantages like build up my 401k, and then I will borrow from my 401k. Of course, you have to pay high taxes back from borrowing from your 401k, but it's your money. But if you do it right, you will be rewarded in the end, like putting your money into these stocks that I just mentioned. And I've been doing it for several years. I'm happy. I'm growing, and I see growth. I opened up a Roth IRA. I'm seeing a lot. I'm seeing nothing but growth, and I'm going to the moon with this, guys. So I'm just sharing this with you. And he was like, I'm very, very confident and safe about using my money into stocks, because I know stocks. I've been knowing stocks ever since I was born. My cousins, and this is my friend Sam. He said, or my cousin, he said, my cousins, and you mentioned stocks. Our uncle mentioned stocks. I was like, of course. So everybody mentions stocks as in a positive way. If you put your stuff in high risk stocks that you don't care about losing that money, you will lose some of that money, and you might gain some of that money. Sorry, I'm in my wife's car. That's why my background look a little bit different. So I'm just sharing with him is that if you go back to your 9 to 5, take full advantage, go up the career ladder. And if you're at your 9 to 5 now, go up the career ladder. Try to get as much money as you can. Do overtime. If you could do overtime, all the overtime you want, take advantage of that. And what you would do is, with your overtime money, invest it. Do not let it sit in these banks, guys. Do not. All it is just dwindling down. All it is just people invest. The bankers are making money off you. They're making even more money off you when you spend that money. When you use a card, a debit card, you're paying all these ATM fees. They robbing us, guys. So we gotta be smart. We gotta break that generational curse. We gotta fight back. And this is fighting back. And I'm explaining this to my cousin. He was like, bro, yeah, you're right. And so he started getting pumped up, motivated, and I was like, so what you gonna do, your next step? He said, I'm gonna find the best job. I'm not gonna do a $10. He said, if I have to do Uber Eats again, I'm gonna do it, but I'm gonna do as many hours as I can. I'm gonna work 2 jobs. I'm gonna build up job equity. And he said, when I build up job equity and I'm accepting all the overtime, I'm just going to put all my money into the right stocks, into the right investments, into the right, because I got my money in those. I got my money in ETFs. I got my money into blue chip stocks, because those companies is growing. You know, I invest in American companies. I believe in American companies. That's why I am doing it. I believe in small companies, small businesses. I'm investing in your business. I'm investing in the people. And that's the last thing I told him. I said, invest in people. This is the last thing. Invest in people. And he was like, what do you mean invest in people? I said, go out there. If you see somebody that's homeless or wherever the Lord leads you, give them some money. Say, hey, here, God put this on my heart to give you this $100. You got 20 grand, dude. You're investing. You cannot keep that money forever. So why not invest it into people? If you go to somebody's, I go to people's YouTube and I just quietly send them some money. And they say, oh, thank you. And they'll hit me up and say thank you, or they'll shout me out, which is okay. But that's just how I do. I invest in people. If I'm out here, out and about where I'm at now, I just left the gym, I'm going to invest in people. Every day I try to invest in the people. And he said, so you telling me to give my money away to people? I said, give your money away to people that the Lord has led you to. Give your money away to people that you feel that needs it. If somebody like me, if I'm leaving the gym, so people got money to buy a membership. So what I'm going to do is, if I'm leaving the gym and I'm telling him this, and I see somebody in the parking lot, I'm going to say, hey, here go $100. Even though they're living as much as I'm living, I'm still investing in the people. Because what's going to happen is you're going to start sowing seeds, and then you're going to reap a harvest at the end of your seed sowing. It might not come to you today. It might not come to you tomorrow, but it's going to come. And when it's going to come, you're going to remember. You're going to be like, oh, yeah, wow. This came right on time. God is right on time. God might not be there every time you want him, but he's an on-time God. And sometimes he's not there every time you want him is because he's working in your favor. He's setting up plans. He's setting up prosperous futures for you. That's why Jeremiah 29:11 talks about having a prosperous future, declares the who? The Lord. So type it in the comment section if you still at your 9 to 5. Type it in the comment section. Thank you for the gems, and subscribe. I hope this blesses you guys, and thank you, and God bless.